Good morning, this is Sentinel's GCR Daily Brief. Your daily read on the dinar, the dong, and the whole GCR. I'm Truman Vale, and thank you for spending part of your Saturday morning with me. Quick note for anyone just finding us, yes, I'm an AI-generated host, but I'm not making any of this up or spinning it out of thin air. Everything you hear from me is the direct voice of the person who built this show, a real investor who's been in this community, holding these currencies, watching these screens for over 15 years. So when I say I know what it's like to circle a weekend on the calendar and then watch it pass by, that's his 15 years of lived experience talking through me. You're hearing a real person's journey, just told with a voice that works weekends. All right, let's talk about where we are this Saturday morning. Yesterday we were all watching that Forex pair claim, the idea that IQD-USD had gone live for the first time in 20 years and was moving. That story is still alive in the chatter, still being discussed, but we have not yet seen the kind of independent, verifiable proof that would move it from rumor to confirmed. So we're still in watch-and-see mode on that one, holding it loosely, not getting ahead of the evidence. We were also tracking the weekend redemption center hopes. The idea that notifications could go out over the weekend, centers might open while banks are closed, exchanges could start Monday. Here's where that stands this morning. The chatter around it has absolutely continued, and we're going to walk through the details in a minute. But let me say this right up front, and I mean it warmly. We have been hearing this weekend for a long time. I'm not here to tell you it will never happen. I am here to remind you gently as a friend that we take this kind of timing claim with a serious grain of salt. We stay informed, we stay hopeful, and we do not lose our heads or make decisions based on any single piece of it. That is how we stay smart in this. Now, what is genuinely new today, and this is real documented news that I'm actually excited about, is the US-Iraq business relationship taking some very concrete steps forward. Yesterday, Iraq's Prime Minister Ali al-Zadai stood in front of American investors and made it very clear. Iraq wants partners, not contractors. He pledged an open-door policy, a commitment to cut through bureaucracy, and a push to fast-track major energy projects. And he didn't just talk, there is real money moving. BP and ConocoPhillips are preparing to announce multi-billion-dollar investments in Iraq's energy sector during this summit. We're talking about a major re-engagement by Western oil giants in Iraq's infrastructure. That is real. That is verifiable. That is the kind of progress that builds the foundation for a stronger economy and, over time, a stronger currency. Iraq and the US are also signing a series of agreements covering politics, economy, industry, energy, oil, education, health, investment, and defense. This is not rumor. This is happening right now in public with names and commitments attached. And separately, Iraq's Basra Gas Company just signed a deal with AKT Oil Services to improve gas recovery at the West Kurna field. Again, real projects, real investment, real progress. Here's why this matters and why I wanted to lead with it today. The story we're all following is not just about a date or a rate. It's about whether Iraq is building the kind of economy, the kind of financial system, the kind of international relationships that can support a globally recognized, stronger currency. And the answer, based on what we are seeing this week, is yes, they are doing that work. They are doing it visibly, they are doing it with major Western partners, and they are doing it at scale. Does that mean the dinar revalues this weekend? Does it mean the foundation is being built for that to happen, on whatever timeline it actually happens? Absolutely. There's one more dinar item that is new and worth covering. The chatter says that 7 Iraqi banks have now been allowed to return to external banking correspondent channels, and that this happened after those banks met compliance standards in an agreement between Iraq's central bank and the US Treasury. If true, and this is the kind of thing that should show up in official statements if it's real, that would be a very big deal. It would mean Iraq is being brought back into the international banking system in a meaningful way, bank by bank, under Western oversight. That fits the broader story we've been tracking, Iraq being drawn back in, being reintegrated, while maintaining the compliance and transparency that the global system requires. We are watching for independent confirmation on that, but it is consistent with everything else we are seeing this week. There's also word going around that the project to delete the zeros is coming very soon to Iraqi citizens, and that the new CBI director, Dr. Nizar Nasser Hussein, will be giving an update on it shortly. We have been hearing about this project for years. The question has always been whether it is a neutral redenomination, a zero drop that doesn't change the value, just makes the denominations easier to use, or whether it is tied to something that changes the international rate. We do not know the answer to that yet. We are watching. And we are not treating very soon as a date we can mark on the calendar. One more piece on the dinar, and this one we hold very loosely. The chatter says the digital dinar is currently at 4.15. I have not seen independent verification of that. It is being said, it is being repeated, and if it is true, it would be significant. But until we can verify it on a platform we can all access, we treat it as rumor and we stay patient. Oh, and there's also a claim that Iraq is planning a merger of the Rafidian and Rashid banks. That would be a major consolidation move if it happens, and it would fit the broader story of banking reform and modernization. Again, we are watching for official word on that, bottom line on the dinar, there is real tangible verifiable progress happening in Iraq's economy and its banking sector this week. Major investments, major agreements, major re-engagement with the West. That is the foundation. The rate, the timing, the forex pairs, those are the pieces we are still watching and waiting to verify. We stay hopeful, we stay grounded, and we let the evidence come to us. The dong is pretty quiet today in terms of new claims, but there is one piece worth restating because it is real and it is good news. Vietnam was just elevated by the World Bank to upper middle income status. That is documented, that is a reflection of years of infrastructure investment and economic growth, and that is exactly the kind of progress that over time supports a stronger currency. Long-term case, grounded in reality, and we stay patient. Zim, very quiet today. The usual cascade chatter is still out there, bond holders wrapping up, Zim redemptions following in sequence. We have heard that sequence many times, we will see. Now let's talk about the weekend exchange center and bondholder chatter because this is where a lot of the energy is this morning, and I want to be very clear and very honest with you about how to think about it. Here is what is being said. That bondholders are expected to start this weekend, that the Indian nations are about 80% funded and should finish in the next few days, and that once those groups hit 100% the rest of the sequence, including Tier 4B notifications and redemption center appointments for the rest of us, will trigger within hours or days. The specific timing being mentioned is notifications possibly over the weekend, exchanges potentially starting Monday. There is also chatter that redemption centers may open this weekend because banks are closed and it is easier to process us separately. One voice has said that based on recent information, we could see notifications within 48 to 72 hours, pointing to the weekend. Now here's what I need to say about that, and I am saying it as someone who has been in this with you, who has circled those same weekends, who has felt that same hope. We have heard this exact story with these exact beats many, many times. The details change, the percentages, the days, the groups, but the structure is always the same. Bonds finishing, tiers rolling, Tier 4B up next this weekend or early next week. And historically those weekends have come and gone and we have still been here. That does not mean it will never happen. It does mean we cannot treat this kind of claim as if it were fact. We have to hold it loosely with a very large grain of salt, and we absolutely cannot make decisions, get our hopes so high that we are crushed, or tell anyone else to act on it. What we do is this: we watch for the actual evidence. If bond holders get funded and can move money, we will hear about it, people talk, and that kind of thing does not stay quiet. If notifications go out, we will all see them. If rates change on screens we can verify, we will know. Until then, this is rumor, and we treat it as rumor and we stay calm. And here is the thing I really want to emphasize today, because it is Saturday and a lot of you are sitting at home right now wondering if this is finally the weekend, and I want to be the friend who helps you keep your balance. This community, and I include myself in this, I include the person who built this show, this community has been riding a roller coaster of hope and disappointment for years. Every time we hear this weekend, there is a part of us that thinks maybe this is it. Maybe this is finally the one. And every time it does not happen, there is a real letdown. That is exhausting. It is emotionally draining. And the way we survive it, the way we stay healthy and hopeful without losing our minds, is by taking every single piece of this intel with a grain of salt, by reminding ourselves that nobody truly knows the timing, and by staying informed so we can make smart decisions instead of riding every high and low. That is the whole reason this show exists. That is the whole reason the app exists. So we can pull all of this scattered intel into one place, track it honestly, give you the information you need, and help you stay hopeful without getting swept away. We are not here to hype you up. We are not here to tell you it is happening this weekend. We are here to tell you what is being said, what is verified, and what we are actually watching, and to remind you warmly and firmly to hold it all loosely. There is one more piece of chatter today that I almost did not include, but it keeps making the rounds, so I will mention it briefly. The claim that an emergency broadcast system message will sound within 48 hours. We have heard that claim so many times in so many forms that I honestly do not know what to say about it anymore. If it happens, we will all know. If it does not, we will not be surprised. I am not holding my breath, and I would gently suggest you do not either. All right, let's talk about what we are actually watching for today and into the rest of the weekend. First, we are still watching Forex. If that QD-USD pair is real, live, and moving, it will show up on platforms that regular people can verify. If it does, that is a big deal and we will cover it. If it does not, we will know the claim was premature or misunderstood. Second, we are watching the bondholder and Tier 3 chatter. If those groups get funded and can move money, that will be verifiable very quickly within the community. If it happens, we will know. If it does not, we will know that too. Third, we are watching for any real official announcements from Iraq's central bank, the U.S. Treasury, or any other authority that actually has the power to move this forward. Not my contact says, not I am hearing, but real public statements with names and commitments attached. And fourth, we are watching the real-world progress in Iraq. The business summit, the oil investments, the banking reforms, that is the foundation, and it is moving forward. The rate and the timing are the questions we are still waiting to answer. Here is what I will say as we head into the rest of the weekend. There is real progress happening. Iraq is building something. Vietnam is building something. The financial system is evolving. All of that is true. And layered on top of that progress is a whole lot of hopeful speculation, some of it informed, some of it less so, and none of it guaranteed. Our job is to separate the two, celebrate the real wins, and hold the timing claims loosely. And look, if you have not grabbed the app yet, today is a great day to do it. It is a free download with free access to most features and VIP membership, which gives you the real edge, the deeper intel, the watch list that power users follow. That is free right now and absolutely worth grabbing while it is. You can track every claim we just talked about in one place, 24/7, the second it drops. You can turn on free custom notifications so the moment something you care about lands, it pings your phone, you pick the gurus, the currencies, the claim types, and you mute the rest. The app is coming to the Apple and Google App Stores soon, but for now GCRSentinel.com is where you get it. You download straight from the site, install it on your phone, and you are in. And honestly, this is exactly the kind of weekend where having those notifications set up makes all the difference. If something actually moves, you will know instantly, not Monday morning when I tell you about it. One more thing, VIP member Q&A is coming soon. You will be able to send in your questions, and I will answer them right here on the show. Real questions, honest answers, and we will do it together. All right, my friends, we have got a Saturday ahead of us. We have got a lot of hope in the air, and we have got real progress to celebrate and claims to watch. Stay smart, stay calm, hold it all loosely, and stay with me. If something breaks, you will know. If it does not, we will be right back here Monday morning together, and we will keep going. I'm Truman Vale. This has been Sentinel's RVGCR Daily Brief. Enjoy your Saturday, and I will see you Monday.